All right. Oh, how about this? I'm using brand new streaming software, so I have no freaking idea how this was supposed to work. But thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Joshua T. Berglan. Why is that thing in front of my face? It's driving me crazy. Hold on. No, I don't want that. Go away. There we go. All right. Thank you all so much for being here today. I was using a different streaming software and decided I didn't like it because and now it's saying it failed to go to some destinations. Where did it fail? I should not be doing this to start the broadcast. I should be realizing where this went wrong. Oh, okay. Rumble. Well, I don't need to be on Rumble anyway. No big deal. I don't care about that. But anyway, we're trying a new streaming software today, and I don't know if I like it or not, but that doesn't really matter. I'm excited to be here. I hope you all are doing well. I have no idea how these features work. Oh, connect chat. I can do that too. That's fun. Well, I was actually going to say, hey, I'm live on Rumble today, but that didn't work, and I don't know why. But I probably, again, don't need to be on Rumble. It's kind of a waste. Anyway, I want to apologize about yesterday's stream. The first 20 seconds or so were a little shaky. In other words, you couldn't see my face. But in the day and age we live in, if you see that, then people just skip by it and go, yeah, the video sucks. But it got better after 20 seconds. But nonetheless, I was having trouble with that streaming software. So we're trying something new today. And I don't mind trying new things and, sometimes embarrassing myself a little bit. Anyway, as I said, thank you for being here. My name is Joshua T. Berglan. I'm the host of Spoken Word Live, and I'm also the founder of the World's Mayor Experience platform, which is an omni-media. Really, it's a resource platform. It's an entertainment platform. There's multiple different types of broadcasts there. There's over 10 books. There's tons of free resources. There's movies. There's podcasts. There's tons of articles and information that will prepare you for the world to come. But this show is not about selling. This show is simply, we're really speaking from the heart. And so as some of you know, have seen the different broadcasts, you know that we draw from a hat, which is not really a hat. It's a glass jar. We draw from this and we pick a word. And that word is what I speak on. I have no idea what the heck I'm going to talk about. And we're going to just go from the heart and what I am led to talk about with that word. So it's sometimes fun, sometimes emotional, sometimes serious, and this camera is moving like crazy, and I don't know if I like this or not. But for giggles, we're going to go with it this broadcast and then maybe do something different later. Where is what I'm looking for? Okay, so we're going to draw from a hat, pick the word, have a 14-second break or something like that, and come right back. So here's the word. I did that word already. I can't do it. It's impact. Dadgummit. Did that one. Okay. Navigate. There's the word. Navigate. Well, this will be fun. All right. We'll be. The word for the day is navigate. I picked the hardest word ever. Here we go. Navigate. How do you navigate? How do you navigate life? Who do you listen to? Where do you find your compass? Where do you find the very thing that leads you to the path that you're supposed to be on? Who do you seek out? I know for a long time, in fact, most of my life, I sought out the opinions of others, people that, elected leaders, politicians, religious leaders, community leaders, and so on. In fact, I think about most of the people that I've seen thrown on TV over the course of my life that I've been told to idolize, worship, follow what they do, listen to what they do, seek their guidance, seek their counsel. That hasn't aged so well. In fact, I would say in my 46 years of life that I've spent only about, I guess I've been on a 2-year unlearning journey. Think about that. 46 years old, but 44 years of unlearning to do in a short time. Every morning I wake up to find out that someone else that I looked up to or admired or was told that, hey, they're the guru, they're the ones that the all-knowing, they're the ones with all the information. Finding out that they were just as full of crap as everyone else. That hurts. I mean, even growing up in the church and even in working in ministry, working as an evangelist, all of the different people that I was told to listen to seek counsel from, they know, they're the ones that are the experts on the Bible. You need to listen to them. You need to train under them. But then in the same advice is, well, you need to be in the word every day. And in that word, you're going to have the truth revealed to you. But then when I would go into the word and I would have truth revealed to me and I would take it to the person that I was supposed to be dictating what was true or not, I would be told to stay in my lane. Don't ask those questions. You need to talk only about what you're called to talk about. It's very, very confusing, because if we're to seek the truth and yet we're told to look up to these other people and to go to these other sources for the truth, but then they don't tell us the truth, what do? Little by little, that's what to start to unravel my walk and unravel my journey, only to help me separate from all outside influences. And in doing so, I got to tell you, I was like a baby deer, born baby deer, trying to wobble and like falling all over the place because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing, because everywhere I looked, out of all these people that I was supposed to trust and all these people I was supposed to listen to, there was no truth to be found. Just confusion or misleading messages or contradictory messages. And like, what is this all about? And this is not trashing religion. This is not trashing anybody. I'm just saying, our whole lives, listen to the celebrities, listen to the doctor, listen to the attorney, listen to the teacher, listen. What about going directly to the source? We are told our religious books are the source of truth, yet man still put his hands in it. And in my experience with man, well, man has led me astray. And the only things I've ever known in my life to be true, the only things, was the truth that was confirmed from within, or I was given a word or given a message or had felt something in my spirit that I was supposed to go do. And then I would go walk that out in complete defiance of what everyone around me was telling me. Complete defiance. And it looked like I was wrong. It looked like I was doing the wrong thing and it was going to lead me to another ditch. But like, I felt like if I didn't do it, my head was going to explode, or I was going to make my head explode intentionally. But then I had this opportunity to walk that out and like, wait a second, this is what's true. But that truth came from within. And then also, to add on top of that, in my other experience, there's been times that I've believed something to be really, 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 really true. And I walked that truth out and I'm like, yep, this is the truth. Just chilling, going through life, only to get wrecked, finding out that what I believed, what I convinced myself to believe, wasn't true. And see, my point in all of this is, while it's great to have influences, it's great to have leaders in our lives, it's great to have mentors. I'm a mentor. I've had mentors. It's great to have coaches. It's great to have pastors or religious leaders. Absolutely, it is. It's good to have wise counsel in our corner. But ultimately, the only way we're ever going to know if something's really true or not is by applying it to our life and walking it out. I believe that getting confirmation on our own, like confirmation in our spirit, is one of the most powerful ways of realizing truth that there is. But even with that, sometimes we might be wrong. Sometimes our emotions can be speaking for us instead of the Spirit. But here's what I know about our Creator. Our Creator loves us enough that we're allowed to make those mistakes. And if we listen and if we're truly present, we'll recognize that, hey, that was a mistake, when it's a gentle correction, a little, hey, like maybe you should apologize for doing that. Maybe that wasn't the right thing for you. It's easier to listen to those little whispers than it is having to get the heavy duty right cross, of a consequence, the drop kick from God, the freight train knocking you over. Because, eventually, if we keep ignoring the signs, the signals, the words, the messages that we're on the wrong track, or, hey, maybe that wasn't right for us. Maybe that doesn't align with our true purpose. We ignore those warnings, the consequences get severe. So, who's navigating your path? Is it you? Is it you and your relationship with the Creator? Or is it the voices of everything around you? Is it the influence of social media and media? Who is navigating your life? Because anyone outside of you trying to navigate your life for you is not going to know what's right for you. They're not going to know what's best for you without some type of bias. Also, unless if they're the ones that created you, odds are they're not going to have the owner's manual on how you are to navigate your life the correct way. I would rather go to the person that created me for that navigation than anyone else. And look, I am all for the Bible. I am all for religious books. I think they're wonderful. But it is very, very clear that without the Spirit leading you, without that direct relationship, you're never going to know how to apply what you're reading to your life anyway. And I still contend for those of you that say that, the only truth comes from within the Bible, I disagree with that. And here's why I say that. You could be reading a James Patterson novel and the Holy Spirit could speak to you and say, to give you a message. I've had messages from God come from demons, people that are strung out on meth, prostitutes, and so on. God can speak to us from anywhere and anything, especially in his creations. But at the same time, it's only in relationship, in that true being present with ourselves, with God, that we're able to discern which voice is the right voice to listen to, which word to listen to, which word to take in. And here's the other thing I've learned. Like, if we don't know, we can always ask for confirmation. God has a really amazing way of confirming things when we ask. And typically, confirmation doesn't take long to get. So while it's so easy to go on social media and post our problems and ask for advice from everyone else that doesn't know us, like I say, it's easy. That's the convenient thing to do. But ultimately, the easiest path, yet seems to be the most difficult, is when we sit still and be present and wait. Wait for our answers. Wait for guidance. Wait for truth. Wait for the answers that we're seeking. In my experience, and I'm not going to claim to be an expert, and you don't need to take my advice. You can completely ignore me. But in my experience, the absolute best advice and guidance I've ever been given has come from within. Now, if I'm full of toxic resentment and anger and rage and hatred, I'm probably not going to hear clearly. So I think also another side of this is to make sure that we are clearing the poison from our body before we start taking any bold moves. Like, it's one thing to sometimes we never know the voice that we're actually listening to. And in my case, I had a lot of voices in my head that really made things confusing on how I was supposed to navigate life. And what I had to do was start removing everything that no longer served me. I had to start removing everything that I know didn't belong. What didn't belong? What poisoned my spirit? Drugs, alcohol, rage, hatred, resentment, unforgiveness, jealousy, greed, deceit. The only way to really get to a path of truth, to be able to navigate life, I believe the way that we're called to navigate life, which is being led, is to clear all that doesn't belong to make room for what does belong. And yes, while I said that it's a dangerous thing to seek counsel from external sources because the ultimate truth comes from within, the cool part is after we remove all those things that don't belong and we start adding what does, we start to notice that the people start showing up in our life are the right people to go along with us on the rest of our journey to help us navigate the rest of our life. Thank you so much for watching.